rivals in the NFC East, but the only difference is the Eagles' tie against the Bengals. Now, Michael Vick is still with us. Michael, do you expect Dallas to bounce back and win the NFC East?
I expect Dallas to bounce back and win this weekend. East, I can't say right now because my Eagles are going to definitely make a push. If the Eagles get Alshon Jeffries and Deshaun back healthy, then they're just as good as the Dallas Cowboys, and they might be a little better than the Dallas Cowboys now because defensively they still have Darius Slay and they still have Fletcher Cox, two guys who can change the dynamic of the game, of any game. Offensively for the Dallas Cowboys, they still got all their firepower, and Dak is playing some of his best football. But on the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be a struggle every week, I think, until somebody steps up and say, I'm tired of going through what we've been through. We can get better. You know, I'm going to be the guy who takes the onus and makes, you know, this defense better in some way, shape, or form. Until that happens, I can't see Dallas winning the NFC East. I see Carson Wentz stepping up and playing a lot better. I see the Philadelphia Eagles riding the wave that they've been on, since last week and maybe pulling out a couple games. But, in terms of the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of things are going to happen right, going to have to happen right for this team in order for them to win the NFC East convincingly. And I think it's going to start with beating the Philadelphia Eagles, which is their only competition in the division. A bunch of things has to happen. I think the Dallas Cowboys got to take it 1 week at a time as well as everybody else in the NFC East and just see where the chips fall.
I agree with you. I just think the Eagles, Skip, if the Eagles can just get a few guys back, Alshon, D-Jack, Jalen Reagor, those are your top receivers, and they're out. And now Peters is injured. Lane Johnson went out. Skip, remember, Peters was supposed to play guard for Barrett Brooks. Barrett Brooks get hurt. So now he's out. So now you're shuffling your offensive line. And when you do that, I think Dougie P needs to do a better job. I understand you want to run scat protection, which is 5 guys into the route. But when your offensive line is beat up and your quarterback is starting to hear footsteps, you cannot. Sometimes you're going to have to leave your tight end in. If you look at last night, they left Gronk in a lot so he can block, so they can protect, because Wentz is turning the ball over, which is putting your defense, because make somebody drive the length of the field on your defense. Don't give them short fields. And the Cowboys, I agree with you, Mike, on this also. The Cowboys should beat the Giants. The Giants aren't very good. They are players away from being good. And so this is a game when I play, I'm about to get healthy. I don't know what my numbers are going into the game, but I can assure you they'll be a lot better when I leave the game. If you're a defensive player, I'm going to get healthy on the Giants. I ain't got no interceptions, I'm going to get me one. I ain't got no forced fumble, I'm going to get me one. Oh, I ain't had a double-digit tackle game, I'm about to get me one of them. As an offensive player, I'm going to continue on the pace. Cowboys' offense is fine. They just got to stop turning the football over, because if you turn it over and your defense can't give it back to you, you're harming yourself. But, Skip, the Eagles are going to be right here at the end, because the Eagles have something the Cowboys don't have right now. They have fight. Your guys won't fight on defense. The Eagles will fight you. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Malik Jackson, Darius Slay, those guys will fight. Your guys lay down.
True. I told you I have lost all faith in my team, just as I believe it's lost most of its faith in itself. I am with both of you. The Eagles right now, even without Alshon, without Deshaun, they're just better. They're better because of what Michael Vick just said. Darius Slay he just might be the best corner in football. Fletcher Cox is a monster. He changes the game. You can just watch him on TV and you just see what happens. Things start happening. He disrupts.
And Brandon Graham against your 2 undrafted guys.
I just lost Tyron Smith probably for the year, all-pro left tackle.
Yep.
I got 2 undrafted free agents playing both tackles.
You do?
For the foreseeable future.
Yep.
I'm not even sure Lyle Collins will be able to come back, and he was my best lineman last year.
Didn't they put him on?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about his condition. They're questioning how hurt he might be for the future.
Right.
So what what do I have to love? Well, as Michael said, if Dak gets desperately behind, he's unbelievable. He's great. When he's hopelessly behind, he is all-time great. Does he close deals? He hadn't been closing a whole lot lately. My team should be 0-4. The defense is simply the worst defense in the history of this franchise back to its expansion year in 1960. I can just show you the stats. They're the worst defense in all of football. And they're also beat all to hell. They've lost too many of their stalwarts, and they didn't go out and get Earl Thomas, as I pounded on this table for them to, just to have one made man in the secondary. Somebody the opponents feared. There's nobody anybody fears. And in the end, here comes a division rival in the Giants, who I think might be a little better than Dallas right now. And you laugh at that, and I say, show me. Because my offense, as explosive as it can be, it leads the league in giveaways. Okay, so what's to like? They're -7 in turnover differential, which is the bottom of the barrel. It's the worst of 32 teams. So it gives the ball away. It doesn't take the ball away. It just gave up 307 yards rushing at home. And meanwhile, the Giants against the Rams quietly last week had 136 yards rushing. And the Giants, by the way, on defense are pretty good. The Giants right now, I promise you, are better than the Dallas Cowboys on defense. And I don't know if you noticed this, but that James Bradbury that they signed as a free agent, Pro Football Focus did its quarter poll all-pro team.
Yeah, he's top 5.
He made first-team all-pro at cornerback. Well, don't tell me they don't have some talent, and don't tell me these receivers, Darius Slayton and Golden Tate and Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard, don't tell me they're not pretty good, because they are. The quarterback's shaky, but he's athletic and he can have his moments. And he had the Rams on the ropes. They got it all the way down to the 9-yard line, throwing into the end zone to tie the game last week against the Rams, and he threw an interception. Okay, well, they're probably feeling pretty good about themselves coming out of that game, because they held Jared Goff down to 240 total yards, that offense. And it's been hot. And they ran for 136. Well, but silly me, I think the Giants are going to win this game or steal this game, because I don't think my team's very good.
Skip, if the Giants win this game, it's going to be hell in Dallas. You know Jerry Jones.
Well, is it going to be hell?
Jerry Jones going to fire somebody.
Well, he better. He should have fired somebody last week, and he didn't.
Well, he going to cut somebody there.
We talked about it 2 weeks ago, and Skip just said it. I think a guy like Earl Thomas would have been the perfect addition, and Earl might have came with some baggage, but
he does.
I think that could have been cleaned up. And he's a guy that's going to make the defense better, a lot better. I mean, they need anything that they can get right now, and he would have been the perfect guy to just step in, and probably came in with a different mindset in terms of, you know, his leadership. And sometimes you learn from your mistakes and the things that you've done in the past. And I think Earl Thomas could have made this defense better, and it's not too late.
How
just
bad?
Can't wait too late in the season before you make a decision like that.
How bad must it be, Skip? My boat is sinking, and someone comes to could possibly rescue me, and I say, no, I'm going to go on down with it. That's what Jerry is saying. That's what the Cowboys are saying with Earl Thomas. As bad as we are defensively, given what our reporting and our investigations have done into you, we're going to leave it alone.
It's also coaches' pride, because they love those 2 young safeties because they're good kids, you know.
Coaches don't normally love players that much. Coaches love winning more than anything. And if you're not helping me win, you costing me. Exactly.
Oh, I got it, but I'd still take him.
I mean,
you take anybody right now.
I would take anybody.
I
can't wait to see how this weekend plays out. It's going to be interesting. Michael, thank you.